to tell you a few stories and some of the lessons that Robert and I have learned along our journey. And I want to start with how we started the cash flow, how we started the Rich Dad Company. Because most people think that it started with the book Rich Dad, Poor Dad. And how many people have read Rich Dad, Poor Dad? All right, how many have not yet read Rich Dad, Poor Dad? All right, thank you very much. Well, actually, as Robert said, we started the company with a game called Cash Flow. And if I may see a show of hands again, how many people have played Cash Flow? Great, 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 great. Thank you very much. We created this game because in 1994, when Robert and I retired, and people think we had millions and millions of dollars, no, we had $10,000 a month cash flow coming in, mostly from our properties, but we only had $3,000 a month in expenses. So at that point, we were financially free. Now, the biggest luxury of all for me at that time was, for the first time, I could ask myself, what do I really want to do with my life? How many people have ever asked that question? What do I really want to do with my life? Because I believe we all have a gift to share. I believe we all have a gift to give. And so for the first time, I didn't have to think about paying the bills and worrying about all the doingness and all the busyness of the day. I could really step back, and we started looking at what do we really want to do with our lives. And what we wanted to do is we wanted to teach people about what we did, because people kept asking, how did you get financially free? How did you do it? How did you invest in property? How do we get started? So instead of us traveling all over the world, we decided to create this board game, Cash Flow, to teach people what we did. So the cash flow game really is every single square on that game is something in our lives that we did. The investments, the fast-track deals, we've done almost every one of those deals. The scorecard that we use for the cash flow game is how we lived our life, which is right here. The income statement and the balance sheet. So let me ask you this. How many people have ever created a product? Okay. How many people have ever had a good idea about a product or a business? Okay. How many people had an idea and had no idea what to do with that idea? Thank you. Okay, so we said we're going to build this game. We have no idea how to build a game. So we start on our kitchen table, our dining room table, actually. Very little money, almost no money. How many people have ever had no money and let that stop you? Yeah. We started with just building this game, and we would have what we call two-pitcher nights. And what a two-pitcher night is we're working, our brain is hurting because we're trying to figure out how many times around the wheel you have to go. How do you make this ROI make sense? How do you have the paycheck and salary be, the same that fits in with the cash flow? Trying to put all these numbers together, trying to put all the concepts together. And at the end of the day, Robert would say, I think it's a two-pitcher night. And what that means is we're going to go down to the local pizza parlor, have a pizza and 2 pitchers of beer. And then start all over again the next day. So we create this game, and then we decide, the question comes now, okay, now do we produce it? We've now created it. Do we really want to produce it? Because it's basically going to take all the money we have. So we flew to Hawaii, and we made a decision in Hawaii. By the time we leave Hawaii, we will have decided whether we're going to do this game or not. So we wake up in the morning, have our coffee, go for a walk on the beach. Okay, yes, we're going to do it. We're going to build this game. Okay, great. The next morning we get up, get our coffee, walk down the beach. No, forget it. Forget it. It's going to cost too much money, too much problem. We don't know how to market it. Forget it. Every day we did that for 7 days, and at the end of the trip, we decided, yes, let's go forward. Let's build the game. So we built the game, and I'm looking back on some of the things that were most important to me and Robert, and we built the game very simply. We built it because we had a dream. We say at the Rich Dad Company that taking control of your life all starts with a dream. So we had a mission and we had a dream. And our mission to this day, the same mission we had then, same mission today, is to elevate the financial well-being of humanity. And the reason the dream was so important, and I was talking to a group of women today after lunch, and the reason the dream is so important is because if you don't have that dream or that mission, Steve Jobs, I was listening to a video of Steve Jobs the other day, and he said, without that passion, without that drive, without that dream, when times get tough, you're going to quit. When you hit a wall, it's going to be easy to say, oh, it's too hard, let's not do this. Or if your dream's too small, you get bored. Make sense?